Australia-wide, it's in excess of 105,000 people per night that are homeless. It's pretty scary in a modern civilised country like ours, yeah.
Most people in society today are only ever 2 paydays away from being homeless. We have 9 conferences who provide support to people in the community. My own conference in the 12 months spent approximately $92,000 and we have supported 3,000 people.
My name's Kevin Cantwell. I've had a drug and alcohol problem since I was 18, but I started drinking when I was 12 and then it just got worse. I've had a few close calls. I've been stabbed 4 times, rehabs and jail, and it's not a very nice life. Addiction's a wicked thing. No one forces alcohol down my throat. It's something that I got into when I was a kid and I've never stopped. It's no life. You might think it's good when the party's going well, but it's after the party finishes. That's when you've got to face the consequences of what you've been up to. Some of the stuff you might never remember you've done. If I wanted food, I'd just ring up my sister and she'd come and help me out, but she got sick of that. They all got sick of me. So what happens when you get into the drugs and alcohol? You end up on the streets. Your family lose faith in you. You lose faith in yourself, self-respect. For months on end, we're just sleeping in cars and on people's couches, blow up mattresses, and I just got sick of it and just wanted my own bed to sleep on.
Well, I actually had a call from a community centre on the Sunshine Coast about Kevin, and he was sleeping rough on the beach, and I was told that he had a problem with alcohol. I met with him and he told me some of his story. So I thought immediately that I needed to get Kevin off the street, and he didn't have a rental history, so I phoned the caravan park that I deal with a lot. And initially he settled in really well and he did attempt to stop drinking, but in his own words, boredom got the better of him in the caravan park and he started again.
Boredom just set in and started drinking again and started taking pills again and just wiping myself out so you could get through the day. And
I really got quite concerned about his physical well-being. He looked really unwell. His health was so bad. I was really actually concerned that he would die.
You can't make people do anything. People have to make their own decision. When he decided that he needed help, we said yes.
So when he finally said, I'll do it, we organised the car to pick him up.
He was a bit apprehensive when we arrived at the door, but it was all smooth sailing and off he went.
Annette and I drove him to Brisbane, took him to detox. I walked him in there. It was a really good day.
We supported him even while he was in there with phone calls, and then when it was time to come home, we assured him that we would have a proper place for him to live.
I felt that if he came out of rehab into homelessness, I really did think he might die on the street. Our housing officer Sandy was working on finding a vacancy for him when one became available, and we had the warehouse come up with all the furniture, and the day he turned up here, when he'd finished rehab, the truck was around there delivering furniture to his unit. It's a really big collaborative effort on all of the parts of Vinnies and how they work together.
my brain was going 100 miles an hour, just thinking, geez, this is nice. And like, wow. Well, compared to staying in the car and that, and the caravan park, I've got a nice little unit. I've got some support by Narelle and all of them down at St Vincent de Paul. The community centre, that they're very nice people there too. There's a few programs coming up like that I might be interested in and that sort of thing. So it's looking a lot better than it did a few months ago.
Kevin was really proud, showing me all the new clothes and shoes he'd bought with his money because he hadn't been spending it on alcohol, and that was a very proud day for him that he had money to spend.
I'll meet some people. I know a few people will say how they do and have a talk and all that, but I just go for a walk along the riverbank. That's beautiful along there. There's chairs and that where you can sit down and have a thing. I might do a bit of garden and stuff soon.
I'm sure that he will go backwards, but then he will go forwards. You know, it's not always a plain sailing, and we can see that with support from people like us, that we can help him to take those steps as he needs them.
I'm getting back on track. I'm eating well and making sure I go to the thing and paying me bills, and I am slowly but surely getting there. You can't do it overnight. All you got to do is put one foot in front of the other and just try again until you get it right. So lucky that I got this place. Very, very lucky. Thanks to Narelle and Sandy and the St. Vincent de Paul people. Hadn't it been for them, it would have been dead or in jail, one of the two.
Sometimes they just need someone who can walk with them through the process, and St Vincent de Paul's about a hand up, not a hand out. So to me it's about making people feel that they've got some power over their lives.
The Society relies on donations from the public. Our first call is the person who needs, so if we are able to give clothing or furniture, it's given. What we sell is the leftover. Throughout our whole life, we receive so much from other people. I think that we can all give back. It's very special to be involved in people's personal lives. At the end of the day, I can go home and think that I've made a difference.